While Sebastian Cadavid was enlisted to succeed the Farc partisan team in Colombia, he had slight concept of how it would form his next. Lured in promises of cars and cash, the 12-year-old didn't fluctuate to mark up. Sebastian consumable 4 persons year fight in the guerrillas, reception intense munition learning, but no education. While he was seized by the troop at 16, Sebastian was florid in a planet he was inexperienced and untrained to succeed. I was shipped to Bogotá, told Sebastian. To a reformation building wherever road criminals were shipped. And I had to discover a work, in a lively town wherever I knew not one and had no skills. I was frightened and nerve, it was the at first face I'd had in community with I was 12. The most, 70%, of Farc members were ignorant, give her the newly demobilized guerrillas slight opportunity of conclusion job, let one stable, complete time occupation. Let fair go in building, wherever the pay is bad and the job facility are horrible, but at low you don't requirement to aware how to recite, Sebastian explainable. It was so hard for me to get any job while I came out of the Farc. I had no skills, and who would use an former guerrilla? I excited behind to the rural area and found job on a coca bush farmer. This sheet utilized to do crack cocaine, the just item I knew how to do, and ultimately ended up received behind in narco trafficking. Sebastian's history is not extraordinary. Though by the government is offer the 7,000 newly demobilized Farc members 2 year of formation, it is inadequate to enable them to competitive versus some Colombians, especially in the present economical scenery. Joblessness in Colombia rose to 9.4% in 2017, manufacturing it the nation in the highest bet in Roman America following Venezuela. But he's not fair former guerrillas who are fighting to discover job as a outcome of impoverished formation inflicted by the dispute. Karen Carvajal begun Biz Nationality, a public company, in 2016 in her 2 sisters in a bid to both train victims of the dispute and ex-guerrillas in professional skills, and supporting them to set up their own business community. She underlined the significance of formation in medicinal her nation's wounds and provided a steady, peace next. We job in a considerable sum of sensitive human beings who refuged had the opportunity to complete high school or visit college, and so aren't produced for the planet of job and can't break down the poverty reduction loop, she told. We're hard to assist human beings adjust to community following such a length dispute. Ms. Carvajal says it isn't fair former guerrillas who fight to reintegrate in community, but as well the hundreds of thousands of human beings who fled the warfare. A 2017 paper found Colombia has about 7.2 million inwardly moved human beings. We trust how the victims are fair as essential as former Farc members since they include as well been strongly struck by warfare. Millions of family include had their formation violated, and fled to cities wherever they don't include the skills to discover city occupation. Or he's not fair family, lot age victims go of village areas wherever they mostly treated in farming and they excited to a town wherever they necessary else set of skills. Ms. Carvajal adds she is very concerned on the quantity of ex-guerrillas who do not include accessing to efficient formation. Affirmative they are receive main formation, training to recite and compose, but the is not labor or technique skills, and when offer them any competition end. William Fordero Pinella, a ex-Farc captain who leftward in 2003 and now plant in the Ministry of Defense, has such concerns. It was really complex for me to get job following I leftward. I requested anything more than rather than to incorporate in community, but I wasn't permitted. Down there are lot human beings who do not wish world and who reject to take us. We are seen as traitors. Former Farc members are not receive the formation they requirement to do them standard in some members of community down there is as well yet a lot of superstition and stigmatization versus Farc members, and so largest patronage will select a non-Farc applicant above who has been in the guerrillas. Yet the nation's labor secretary Rafael Pardo insists reintegrating Farc is not a problem. Down there are 12,000 ex-members of Farc so the joblessness bet won't be a issue, he told. He's not a difficult problem to give ex-guerrillas behind in jobs. Down there include been a lot of nice reactions of companies to rental and boat train ex-partisan members. He admits the question of stigmatization could present a issue for the former guerrillas, and added, "We do requirement to bring polarization of human beings who were in the history members of gunman groups. The government has to show the advantages and benefits of reintegrating Farc members." Mr. Cadavid ultimately acquired learning to set up his own shoes seminar, that he rest of his parking garage, and for each couple of shoes he sells, he contributes one to couple to a sensitive kid. "I wish to do certainly these family aware down there is expect how they can begin their own industry, where they are of, and they don't include to go in narcotic trade. Yet," he added, "he is one of the happy ones. I include lot friends who routinely go starving since they cannot discover job. Who is departure to use a 50-year-old man who can just fair recite and compose but has no some skills. This question is not giver us formation. The question put in giver us the skills to job so we can join community. Differently world will be unfeasible."